Hello, welcome into this edition of the Danny Sancomb Show. My name is Matt Kiefer, the Sports Information Director here at CalU. Before we get to Coach, we have a couple of guest stars here today. First, we have redshirt freshman guard Dylin Borden from Pasadena, Maryland. Dylin, thanks for taking some time today.
Thank you for having me.
So obviously a big night last night, got a nice road victory at Seton Hill. It's one of those things, it's the rigors of the season right now, playing 3 games in a week. What's that been like for you so far? Just the idea of getting used to playing 3 games a week when typically basketball is set up conference-wise to be just 2 games.
Honestly, a lot of fun. I mean, just knowing you have game days is always fun. I mean, we love practices and stuff getting better, but, you know, game days is the excitement. Getting dubs is always excitement for us.
Yeah, again, a nice victory there for the Vulcans. Their 10th road win of the year. And right now in position for the PSAC tournament, and NCAA regional rankings came out. We'll talk to coaches about that a little later on. But what's it been like for you being able to be on the court this year and see a lot of playing time, where in 1920 season you were redshirt and we're just sort of watching the guys out there learning the offense and learning the college game?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I had to sit out for 2 years, one for the redshirt and then one for COVID. But, I mean, just getting back, you feel the love for the sport again, and I just love it again.
With that time off, what was like one area maybe you looked at in your game of either that you really wanted to improve on, having that time off, especially with the idea of COVID being out? Everybody was in their gym doing different kind of things between either working out or getting shots up, those types of things. What were you working on during that time?
Mostly just getting stronger, getting a lot of shots up, making sure my shot was good. I worked a lot on my IQ too, just like watching a lot of basketball and just focusing on like the different levels of the game, because college is a lot faster than high school. So making a transition was just what I needed to do. Okay.
Speaking about high school, what was it with CalU? Can you talk a little about your recruiting process? Obviously from Maryland, Coach has a connection there, Brent's from there, and it's still not that far away. Can you talk us through the recruiting process that brought you here to CalU?
When I came to Cal, I just honestly felt like it was home. I mean, the facilities are great. I love Coach Sancomb, Coach Bridgman. It was just really fun. I knew Jermaine too. I played in Jermaine's conference in high school, and just Jermaine kind of in my ear, Brent in my ear, just kind of telling me like, just make sure you keep it a look like it's a great school. We all have a winning attitude. Like, that's what we want to do.
Now, again, you've been with the program a number of years now. Being able to learn from Brent through practice 2 years ago, and then even this year, being a running mate with him there. What's it been like playing with a guy like that who, again, keeps climbing up the scoring list, but he also is one of those guys, he's a true guard, not just shooter, but he'll pass the ball, defense, everything there. What's it like been learned from a player like that here at CalU College?
Honestly, an honor. Like, it's honestly amazing. I get to learn a lot from him, and even my redshirt season, just practicing every day, just playing defense on Brent, like, it's made my defense immaculate. Like, just working on that, playing against the best guard in our conference is going to make you better. So.
Yeah, in addition to the guards there, you have a number of bigs. We have a couple more coming up later on. But what's it like having a roster like this? So many athletes where, again, your redshirt, you're a very tight roster in terms of just an X number of guys playing, and a lot of guys got a lot of minutes. But here it's a little bit more spread out this year. What's it been like for you being on the court, get a lot more minutes as the season's gone on?
It's honestly been fun. I mean, I love playing with my brothers, and it's like we're a real tight family. So, I mean, that's a good reason for why we get a lot of dubs. I think we're all stick together, and we all love each other. So I think that's very important to have on the team. And, you know, we hang out all the time. We do everything together, and I think that's really important for a team.
Well, Dylin, thanks for taking a couple minutes here. We're going to be back. We'll take a short break and see a couple of his teammates here sitting alongside of us. So we'll be right back.
Back by popular demand and better than ever is late night dining in the Natalie Student Center. Join us starting Monday, October 18th at the hot spot for evening dining, Natalie Evening Eats, located on the 2nd floor of Natalie next to Umami. Open Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., and on weekends, 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., Natalie Evening Eats is a one-stop shop for your favorite menu items. Orders can be placed through our mobile app or at the designated Evening Eats kiosk. We can't wait to see you there.
Hello, welcome back to the Danny Sancomb Show. My name is Matt Kiefer, the Sports Information Director here at CalU. And with me are a couple freshman forwards, Bryson Lucas and Keith Palek. Guys, thanks for taking some time with us here today to join the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Now, again, I asked Dylin earlier there, you guys had a night last night, big victory at Seton Hill. You guys have been winning, I think, 10 of the last 12 games. Either one of you guys, what's that been like for this kind of role the team's been going on and being able to take some of these teams down on the road, even at home?
It's been honestly pretty good. You know, my position coming off the bench, it's kind of fun getting out on the court with the guys when, you know, we have a lead, and maintaining the lead in a game is pretty fun. And playing with Keith, when he comes back in the game, when I sub in for him, you know, it's always good playing with Keith, because Keith, he's a crazy passer, crazy everything. You know, he gets the job done, so it's pretty fun.
Okay, Keith, again, you've been one of those guys who could be dangerous from the outside and inside there this year. What is it about your game? When did you become so adept at shooting three-pointers? Is it something that you grew into the height, or is it you've always just been a three-point shooter?
Yeah, I definitely grew into my height. I wasn't this tall. Sophomore year of high school, I was only like 6'1". So I mean, I had to shoot the ball when I was like a little guard. But just playing my role this year, letting my teammates find me. I know Brent's gonna find me. I know Phil's gonna find me on the wing, and just letting the game come to me.
Okay, and again, you guys are both from different states, but neither one from Pennsylvania. Can you guys just talk about your recruiting process? Bryson, we'll start with you.
My recruiting process, I was coming out of my state tournament that I had played in, and Coach Sancomb gave me a call telling me to come up for a visit here. Came up for a visit, and I loved it. And a week later goes by, he gave me another call, and I accepted the offer, and I just was happy to come up here.
Okay, yourself, Keith, I know you're a little bit different story there.
Yeah, I committed to a school before Cal, but that didn't work out. So I'm not sure how Coach Sancomb found me, but I was glad he did, and I came up for a visit. I loved the school, and I committed like a couple days later. So glad to be here.
Yeah, again, it's been a pretty young roster outside of Preston and Brent. Everybody's going to be back next year. But for you guys coming in as true freshmen this year, what's it been like learning the offense, learning the guys? Didn't have that extra COVID year, basically, like some of the other freshmen maybe did, but being able to come right in and play right away.
For me, it's been pretty good because I've never had like a real true point guard that does everything on the court for everybody. So playing with Brent is amazing, and then going down to Phil, he's a big. I used to play a big in high school, so not being able to have to play that position because Phil's there is pretty good. I can play like a different position, so playing with all these guys is pretty fun.
How about you there, Keith?
Yeah, playing with all the guys is definitely a lot of fun. They make the game easy. You don't have to stress. You don't have to do anything like that. You don't have to overplay. Just let the game come to you and just enjoy it.
Now, again, it's one of those things that the college game is obviously much faster, much bigger. What's been the biggest adjustments for you guys that you've seen through your first year here with the program?
The transition is pretty drastic coming from West Virginia schools to a big top PSAC school. But the only difference I've seen with my game is just adjusting to the speed and the tempo of the game. And that's about it.
Yeah, it's a lot different than high school because every player on the court is talented, so you really got to lock in every possession and just always be focused.
Okay. Well, guys, thanks for taking a couple minutes here. We're going to talk with Coach Sancomb and a couple of victories here for the Vulcans to talk about. So we'll be right back here at the Danny Sancomb Show.
The Calucobrad connects students to information, services, and resources both on and off campus while providing free items such as food, school supplies, personal hygiene items, and more to our students. Visit our 2 locations at the Vulcan Village Clubhouse and Natalie Student Center, or for a contactless option, visit bit.ly/Calucobrad to request food or give donations. For important Calu information, community resources, and our how-to series, follow @Calucobrad on Instagram and the campus-wide announcements.
Hello, welcome back into the Danny Sancomb Show. Again, I'm Matt Kiefer, host of the show and Sports Information Director here at CalU. And now we finally got Coach Sancomb on set here after talking to a couple players there. Coach, thanks again for letting a couple of your guys show up. It's always good to get to know them a little bit off the court there and seeing what drew them to CalU.
Yeah, just great guys. They are. They all did a good job too, and they've been a fun group to coach.
Okay, again, it's just about a week since we were on here last. We only had 2 games to talk about as opposed to 3 or 4 like we've been doing. But again, starting off with a huge win at UPJ, big in the PSAC West standings, big in the regional rankings. It's one of those teams you're quite familiar with, one of those games that kind of slipped away here at home. Let's just talk through a little bit about the game against Pitt-Johnstown.
Yeah, we were locked in. I think, our loss here, we were disappointed. We felt like we should have got that game. And they're a team that you're going to have to beat. They're not going to beat themselves. And we just, from the start of the game, we attacked them very aggressively and made great basketball decisions. Once we were able to beat our man, get in the lane, we found open guys, did a great job. We did a great job rebounding the basketball in the game, and we did a great job in our half-court defense. And, to hold them to 40% shooting when they shoot 50, almost 51% as a team, that's why we were able to win the game.
Yeah, it's another one of those big matchups there. We talked about it last time they played Phil Alston and Jean-Paul Kromka. Kromka ended up 11 and 10. But again, there was really nobody else in that stat sheet for UPJ that was in double digits. A couple guys off the bench, but the big point guard and the guy who had a couple of threes the last time, he didn't even play in that contest. Nice balance there to be able to shut those guys down.
Yeah, with John Paul Kromka, he's to hold him to 11 points. That's great defense. We want to try to limit his shots, make it difficult. Obviously, their point guard is a great playmaker and can score the ball, and we did a great job, defending those guys and just trying to make them work for everything that they were going to get. And I thought for the most part we did a really good job with that.
In the game, all 5 starters went double digits, which has seemingly been the trend for most of the team here in these recent winnings streak. But again, Brent Pegram went for 32 in that game, reached the top 10 all-time in school history. He didn't stay 10 for long. He passed that last night again. But again, he just went absolutely off in this game, hitting 5 3-pointers, 13 of 18 from the floor.
Yeah, he did it all. For us, Brent is very important. He sets the table so well for our guys. He's a great defender when he's locked in. Has the ability obviously to score the ball, but he also has the ability to assist and get guys easy baskets, and he did a great job with that too. I think he had 8 or 9 assists, maybe 10 assists, but we got a lot of easy baskets because he made great plays, and then he got it going, and when he's open and having open 3-point shots, he's going to have a great night, and he obviously did that. But most importantly, the big thing for us offensively, I thought, was 22 assists. That's a ton of assists, and that says, we're moving the ball. I think we're at our best when we have 5 or 6 guys in double figures. I really think that's when we're playing our best basketball.
Yeah, in that game too, 14 3-pointers doesn't hurt either. And again, in those 14 threes, 14 to 28, that's exactly a percentage right there. You will take that all day long when you shoot 50% from the 3-point line.
Yes, and loved the 3-pointers that we took. I felt like the ball was getting inside first with either dribble penetration, or we were throwing it into Phil or Keith, and then we were getting it back out to get good looks. And when you get good looks, you're going to shoot a high percentage, and it seemed like we took wide open shots that game, which was a big part. We made a couple tough threes, but for the most part, we were able to get good looks.
So you had that game on Monday. Relatively a walkthrough almost day on day Tuesday, because you got to be prepared for Wednesday's game. Last night at Seton Hill, got a victory there, getting that season sweep over the Griffins there. Just talk a little bit about that contest at Seton Hill at the McKenna Center.
Yeah, I'm going to rewind just a little bit. It has been difficult. When you play Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, there's short prep days on Sunday and Tuesday, and you just can't do a whole lot. We're trying to keep our guys as fresh as possible, but the wear and tear, obviously of the season drags on. So I think mentally and physically, our guys have done a really good job just being prepared and understanding what we're trying to do in a short period of time. Usually you get 2 prep days in conference because you play on Wednesday and Saturday, and that's been wiped out. And our guys, their focus has been really good, and we're going to have to obviously continue that moving into next week as well. But the game, I knew it was going to be a tough game. When you come off of a big win and you have a short turnaround, and not that we're a young team, but we're still a little bit of an inexperienced team to be able to go on the road and keep focus. I thought our defense was great last night. That's why we were able to win the game. We held them to 58 points. I thought offensively we didn't do as good a job as we have here of late distributing the ball. I think in the first half we only had 3 guys that scored points, and we're just a better team when we're having 5 and 6 guys score and having 5 guys in double figures, and we didn't do it. Obviously, Brent had a monster game again last night, which was really helpful. He was efficient. When you score 30 points and you're efficient by doing it, it's a great game. He was able to distribute the ball a little bit as well. But our other guys, we need to get them involved a little bit more and get our shot distribution spread out a little bit more. I feel like that's when we're at our best.
Yeah, in that game, Brent finished with 30 points. Zion Collins had 14 points in the first half. And Phil Alston was held scoreless in the first half. But again, got 8 points early in the second. But even though his shots weren't falling per se, he still got 13 rebounds. So again, making his presence known, getting some second chance ones, had 4 second offensive rebounds, got 9 in the glass, and was almost a great rim protector.
Yeah, and with Phil too, watching the film today in the first half, he could have had 12 points very easily. A couple balls just rolled around, a couple shots were, in and out. And it was one of those games, nothing you felt like was going right for him. And he went in at halftime, and I think this is the growth process you want to see from your players, and really kind of forgot about it and started the second half extremely well. And was able to get some points. I think he had 8 points in the second half. But like you mentioned, having the 13 rebounds, blocking shots, and being able to anchor our defense is every bit as important. And I know Phil scores a ton of points, but he can bring so much to us when he's locked in defensively. And I was so proud. I've been proud of him all year, but to not hang your head down as a young player and say it's not my night tonight and continue to fight and battle, I think that's what our program is about, and that's what we as a coaching staff try to stress to our guys. It's always the next play, whether it's a great play, a bad play, doesn't go your way, tough call, good call. Just think about what you can do on the next play. And I saw some of that out of Phil last night, which makes me real happy.
Yeah, in the contest too for Seton Hill, it's not necessarily their game, but again, you only held them to shooting 7 of 25 from three-point land. So they took a lot of attempts there, but keeping that percentage down. So when they were trying to keep the game close, they couldn't find a way to trade 2 for 3s later on in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. We always try to defend the 3 well. I think like most teams, if we're going to give them up, we want to make sure it's a contest. I thought we communicated pretty good on screens last night, and if we are able to hold teams to 58 points, and we didn't have a great offensive night last night, obviously, as a team, we're still going to get to that 70-point mark usually, just because our guys are talented enough and we're good enough to make some plays. Our focus and why we've won 10 out of 12 games is our defense has really improved, and we have to continue that for the remainder of the year.
Yeah, with these back-to-back 30-point games, I referenced Brent Pregum climbing to top 10. He actually passed 2 guys, both on Final Four teams, one in 92 and one in 96. And Kenny Toomer, a 2-year great for the Vulcans, one of the all-time greats in the conference. And also Brent Kincaid, who's a sharpshooter on the 96 Final Four team. So 2 big names there. Again, another one coming up, Ray Green, who had NBA ties with the Celtics, next on the list there for Brent. So he keeps climbing that list. But again, in addition to the game yesterday, there's big news coming out from the NCAA perspective with the regional rankings. Again, I know it's been about 24 hours since they've been released already, but just looking through with the growth of the program since you've been here, this is the first time the program has been regionally ranked since 2007, 2008. We can see them there on the screen right now. Cal slotted 5th, IUP number 1 in the division in the Atlantic region, and then West Liberty number 2. A lot of 1, 2, 3, not really a big shock there, but the thing to keep in mind with UPJ and Cal there doesn't include the Monday game, the Cal victory at UPJ and UPJ's loss last night to Mercyhurst.
Yeah, obviously, like I told our team, it's great to be there. It doesn't mean anything until the season's over, but you have a chance to do something, special. And I think the main thing is staying consistent and understanding why we are in this position and continuing to do those things and understand that. Like, we shouldn't spend much time thinking about that. All of our focus now is on Clarion with the upcoming game. And then after we play that game, we got a short turnaround. We then have to focus in on Slippery Rock. So it's great. I think it says a ton about our players. Obviously you mentioned Brent being, in the top 10 in scoring. What he's done for this program since he arrived is why the program is where it's at today. He just came in, and I asked him as a sophomore to lead. And he played for me in Wheeling and wasn't in a leadership role at that point in time. He was just on the team at that point in time. And he took it and ran. And trust me, our program is where it's at because people like Brent, people like Zion, people like Jermaine have bought in. But especially Brent from day one just being our leader. And when you have guys like that, it makes my job so much fun and so much easier. When I look at our 2 seniors, Preston and Brent, they are just all about winning. And if you ask Brent, about being in the top 10 in scoring, or if you ask Brent about winning as many games as we possibly can, he's about winning. And when you have winners in your program, you win. The awards and accolades are great individually, but we have a team full of guys that really just want to win. And that makes our job easier as coaches, and it makes it a lot of fun to coach this group. And we got to continue to try to win as we move forward if we want to continue to win our league and possibly get to the NCAA tournament, which is our goal.
Yeah, again, we got clearing coming up on Saturday, and then we're back home for 2 more games. So 3 more chances to check out the Vulcans here on campus at the Convocation Center starting Saturday, and then actually coming up Monday and Wednesday, which will be senior day for both Brent and Preston Boswell. So the 2 seniors there getting their chance to be recognized for their accomplishments and dedication and everything to the program. So thank you for joining it this week for the Danny Sancomb Show. Feel free to make sure to watch the games this weekend on the PSAC's digital network and the CalU YouTube page. So again, thanks for tuning in. We'll hope to see you at the Convocation Center.